Well, college football is just a few months away. If there will be a college football, personally, I don't think there will be a college football or any college football, or not even football really. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think the NBA should return due to it going to Florida and how the spikes going on over there, and think about the health of the players. So really, I personally don't think sports should be back. I think people are rushing it, especially now. But let's talk about college football. It has been a while since I talked college football, since the Ducks. But I'm talking about like even making a prediction video. I haven't made a prediction video in a long time. I think it's been like since the road to the Super Bowl. And I think I picked. I can't remember. It's been a while. Anyway, this is college football playoffs. Now, this is going to be a very, very interesting topic. Playoffs, college. Gotta love it. You know, you gotta love college. Anyways, let's look at the college football predictions. Now, what I've known so far, playoff-wise, the playoffs will be taking place in the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. Now, this is where everything I think this year with college football gets interesting. Because when you're looking at the recruiting class this year, still, it's a really good recruiting season for many teams. Especially Oregon. Anyway, let's talk college football. Now, who's the number one seed in my opinion? I think personally the number one seed, and I know many people are gonna pick, some people will pick like LSU or Alabama or Clemson. And personally, on my opinion, I think Ohio State will be the number one seed. The reason why I say that, because to me, Ohio State has still everything it needs. It's still still has everything it has right now. Good quarterback, good defense, good wide receivers, good conference. It has everything it needs to make the playoffs. And you better watch out, because I personally think Ohio State will be a team to beat probably next season. So I have Ohio State at the number one seed. Number two seed, I really had to think about. Not really. I'm actually going with Clemson. But here's the thing, though. To me, if Clemson loses just one game, I think they're done. Now, who are the next two? Honestly, this is where everything gets so complicated. Like, we have to think about teams like Notre Dame, who, to me, have got to have an undefeated season if they want to make a playoff appearance. Or what about a team like LSU? This year, LSU will be very interesting to watch. I don't think they'll be, like, great. Well, at least, like, a 9-3 season, so I can make fun of them again, because literally, before the season started, I made fun of LSU and all that stuff, saying they always choke games and they won a national championship. So go ahead and laugh, you LSU fans. Laugh it out! No, I mean, why don't you? Why not? Anyway, I could go with Alabama. I think many people think Alabama's the simple one. But honestly, I don't really know about the SEC this season. I feel like the SEC is wide open for anybody now. But if I had to pick a number 3 team, I hate to say this, but I gotta go with Oklahoma. I don't want to say Oklahoma. I personally don't. But here's the thing. Oklahoma finds a way to make it. And the question is, can they even win it? Can they? Huh? Like I said, even if Oklahoma makes it, and personally, if this week does become the playoff bracket, I think really Clemson would so far be the best team they would have to play against, but not even close. So I have Oklahoma in the number 3 seed going against Clemson. Now, who goes against Ohio State? Many people will pick out, I know in this list will pick Alabama, because, you know, it's Nick Saban and all that. There is no Tua, and the SEC to me is going to be very interesting this year. I look at a team like Georgia right now, which had a great recruiting class and just got an all-pro player from a transfer. So really, Georgia could be the team to look at. But here's the thing: if two SEC teams both have one loss and they meet each other in the SEC title game, then one of them is definitely going to win. Literally, like let's say or even let's say for example, I'm not saying this is going to happen. A 2-loss Auburn team, ranked 11th, wins the SEC championship game over Georgia. Who gets their spot now? There's no way I would think of an Auburn team with 2 losses like that would make it, even though they almost did still. And then we have, I've already mentioned Notre Dame. They have to have an undefeated season so they can get a shot. There's no way a team like Memphis, UCF, Boise State makes it. Now, I haven't mentioned Oregon yet. I know many people are thinking, because I'm an Oregon fan, I'm just going to put them in there, right? My problem still with Oregon, who is our quarterback? I think people are somewhat blind because of the recruiting class. Yeah, they have had a great recruiting class, even though they're having number 2 quarterback. Yeah, I don't know if you're right about that one. Number 2 quarterback in Oregon? In the nation? Yeah. But still, though, who is our quarterback? That's right now my problem with Oregon. They have not even come close to even mentioning who is the starting quarterback. Remember, they're dealing with a situation they haven't dealt with in a while. Since, Marcus. What did the Ducks become after Marcus? 9-3 and 9-4 team. Now, that 9-3 team could have won the Pac-12 championship, but they didn't get there. They could have if their quarterback was healthy in Vernon Adams. And they could have won the Alamo Bowl, but instead they didn't. And the next season, we all know what happened. So really, Oregon, that's a question mark. You want to put even USC? That's a question mark. Can we trust Utah? That's a question mark. Honestly, this is probably the best shot the Pac-12 has to make the playoffs again. They haven't made the playoffs since Washington. They haven't won a playoff game since Oregon versus Florida State in the Rose Bowl. And that was the first playoff game. You know how many years that's been now? Do you know? That's been 5 years. Almost going to hit the 6 if the Pac-12 doesn't do anything. So honestly, I personally think it's actually going to be Georgia. I think Ohio State versus Georgia and Clemson versus Oklahoma. I don't really have much faith in Oklahoma, but I can't see 2 SEC teams make it. I just can't. It's hard for me to see that happen. I know many people have already predicted, Georgia versus Alabama, they're both going to make it. Okay, what if they have a 1-loss situation from both teams? What happens then? Or what happens when one of them goes undefeated and actually loses to that 1-loss team, or both teams go undefeated? And you get the point. It's hard to predict 2 SEC teams in this point, especially in a team like Georgia. Even though this season they have to prove it. They have to prove that they can make it back, and they can beat Alabama and win the SEC again. Because look at the last SEC games they've played since the first one they made when the playoffs are still around. When they beat Auburn, went back, almost won it, lost in a comeback from backup quarterback, and then got destroyed from LSU. So honestly, this is going to be a weird year for the SEC. Even though I personally think Georgia could win, but we'll see. If I had to say a threat for Georgia to not make the SEC, it's Florida. But yeah, my top 4 teams: Ohio State number 1, Clemson number 2, Oklahoma 3, which I personally don't think they will. Well, in my heart, because I don't think they're good enough to make it, but they just find a way because the Big 12 sucks. So yeah, Oklahoma and then Georgia. What do you guys think? Who makes the playoffs this year? Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to me for more videos like this one. This is TGV Tank Mode. Sign off.